Hey guys, it's Kurt from Wersi Club USA. Let's jump right in and look at installing Contact on OAX. We clicked on settings and then, you probably know this, exit Sonic, and that's going to take you back to the Windows desktop of the PC that's in your instrument. We're not going to show those steps at the Windows level, but just that's where you actually need to install the product. Once you've done that, click on the Wersi Sonic icon on the desktop to relaunch OAX. Alright, once you do that, you're going to see the desktop you're all familiar with. We're going to click Settings. We're going to go all the way over to the third screen where our friend the VST host is. This is probably the most important part that you want to understand. When you go to import the DLLs, there's a choice of 3 of them with Contact. The bottom one will give you some problems. That's because Contact has 64 output channels, and that doesn't work well with OAX. If you pick the top one up here with 16 outputs, all will be fine. So we went through that really fast and skipped a whole bunch of the steps that relate to, installing a VST, and we do have a couple other videos that'll show you more details on that. What we really want to do here is talk about how do we really use this VST and control it from the touch screen of our instrument. First, let me close this back down and show you how we got to this point. So we left click on Contact, our VST, and we click Edit, and now you see it gets launched and presented in the window. Over here on the left are some of the modules that we've got loaded so far, and we're going to focus in on the blue one up top. So if I click on that, you see some categories here, and we're going to, again, just pick the first one here, Band. And you see some instruments that are part of what they're calling the band module. So if we click on one of those, it opens up over in the right. And the most important part we care about right now is the MIDI channel. And notice we're connected up through port A, so that's connection to the Sonic. And there's 16 MIDI channels to work with. We're going to keep things very simple in this video, and we're going to pick a couple of sounds and just demonstrate that we can play them from the upper keyboard of the Sonic. One thing that we didn't mention earlier is you probably want to connect the mouse up to your Sonic. It'll make things a lot easier. You can certainly do everything we're going to talk about by touching the screen, but sometimes it's a little tough to find that, at least for me with my big fat fingers. So go ahead and hook up a mouse, and again, it'll make things much easier. At this point, let me run down to the organ. I'll switch cameras, and we'll do a little live video from the organ, and hopefully you'll hear whatever audio I can pick up from the iPhone camera. Be right back. So here we are sitting at the organ, and remember here we have MIDI channel 1, and we're going to come back and look at this in a lot more detail in another video. This is just, again, so you can get an idea that it actually works. So we picked upright bass, and we're going to play on the upper keyboard. And so the upper keyboard is on MIDI channel 1. The Contact is on MIDI channel 1, so magically it works. We're not going to go into a whole lot of detail about how to do Contact controls and what all the things are. There's tons and tons of videos out there, and most of those people are way smarter than I am on all the things you can do in Contact. Again, we want to focus on how we think we can use it from our OAX instrument. So we will say that over here you see a left and right arrow. And so what it's doing, if you look over here, it's really scrolling up that list. So we scrolled up. Notice up here it says Street Knowledge Kit, and you see different things here. One of the things may be of interest to you, may not be, but you see these keys here. This will play a little drum pattern or drum loop.
So again, notice we're just holding down a single key and it's playing a pattern for us from those various instruments. You know, kind of like your style section. But you could build patterns or use those if you find something that you like. So again, we'll just pick a couple other. Let me go up to, let's see, what do we want here? How about, oh, I don't know, E piano? And if you notice, I was triggering the sustain pedal, which I've got registered on left foot switch of the expression pedal on the organ, and that works. Couple other things that we can look at is here is a volume control, and over here, hopefully you can see that in the camera, I can't tell. Notice I'm moving the upper one drawbar and it's moving that volume control. So that gets into some of the things that we'll talk about in some of the follow-on videos on how to make it more usable or controllable, I'm going to call it, from the console of the organ, because you certainly don't want to be working from this interface. This again is just enough to show you that we were able to pick a couple of sounds and play them from the upper keyboard.
Let's go ahead and wrap up this session, and we'll invite you to come back here in the next few days and we'll look at how we can further integrate Contact into OAX. As always, thanks for watching.